But what I love about Columbia is that these professors who know so much about these topics and who challenge us so often will then challenge us one more time by saying, okay, you have all this knowledge and you've read all this and you've been tested and you've written papers, but now so what?
We're not training people. In fact, what we are helping to do is develop habits and practices and disciplines that come out of educational models and methodologies that will equip people to serve in a time unlike any other time in our recent history.
To whom it may concern. I'm wondering if someone can tell me more about how Columbia connects with the work of the church and impacts the world around us.
One group of students who call themselves Claiming Justice, and I'm very fortunate to be able to work with some of that group. And these are students who have demonstrated at fair food rallies, trying to advocate on behalf of workers' rights. And these sorts of issues, I think, are really important.
How does an education at Columbia support a life of faithfulness and consistency? What do students learn about service, advocacy, and caring for the poor?
And Columbia is great about giving us a variety of ways to connect to the community through service. Two of these I feel have been the most impactful is the Methodist Children's Home and the Women's Shelter, being able to volunteer at both of those places.
I appreciate any time that you may take to answer these questions for me. Grace and peace. Christine Sharp.
We are not only preparing pastors, but we're preparing religious educators. We're preparing lay leaders who have secular vocations, but understand that they have a calling on their lives through their baptism, and they're doing ministry wherever they are. We are developing programs that help to equip those people. They don't all have to come to seminary and get a Master's Divinity degree. In fact, we have a variety of programs, including non-degree programs, that are helping people who feel called to ministry and who want to be equipped to take it to that next level. Columbia is the place, and we want Columbia to be the place that one of the first places they think about coming.
Dear Christine, here at Columbia, we are thinking about our connections and relationships with churches and communities. We're shaping what happens in the classroom as we seek to connect with local and even global communities. Our faculty, staff, and student body is increasingly multi-ethnic and multi-denominational.
The fact that Columbia is poised to meet the challenges of God's changing world, specifically in the area of diversity. And I really believe that racial diversity is part of God's self-expression. Of the about 28 or 29 full-time faculty members, 11 of us are faculty of color. And I'm very proud of that, because I don't think there is any other mainline denominational seminaries that can say that with pride.
Our calling involves a constant awareness of connections made in the words and life of Jesus between faith and life, community and mission, spirituality and call, word and world, learning and service.
I have found personally that Columbia's connection and practical ministry is through being a part of churches outside of this small area, to be a part of Rehoboth Presbyterian Church in Decatur, to be a seminary intern at St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church in Tucker, Georgia. And it is through Columbia connecting with these churches and these churches connecting back to Columbia that I have been able to really see my call in those places and my call as a minister, not only to youth and children, but to a congregation as a whole.
Pursuing such a calling is never easy, which is why we need leaders. Someone needs to take the initiative in being vulnerable and caring. Someone must mentor others and reclaim relational bridges along the way. Foundational to living out a gospel of light and love is connection.
We believe that this is where you're called. If you feel called there, then we want to affirm that call, and we want to see what we can do to support you as a faculty, as a staff, and as peers and fellow students with you on this journey. that's a very powerful way in which Columbia has enabled us and supported us in being creative and being imaginative and being passionate and wanting to be advocates and wanting to follow a call to minister to God's people.
I invite you to think about the connections you're seeking and making, not just with us, but with your own part of God's world. Is there one new connection you might take this week? With whom are you connected? What ideas and actions are connected? Where will these connections take you, take us in the future? Thank you for connecting with us, and feel free to reply with your own thoughts. We want to be partners in ministry with you. Joyfully, Steve.